the Indiana Fever beat the Dallas Wings 102-83. This was a highly anticipated game because it was going to be the first time that Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers would be going up against one another in the WNBA.
For half a decade, basketball fans have witnessed one of the sport's most electrifying rivalries, Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers. These two high school prodigies took separate paths. Clark went to Iowa, while Bueckers joined the powerhouse at UConn. Clark consistently got the better of Bueckers in college, especially during the NCAA tournament. Critics, including Gino Auriemma, weren't sold on Clark's ability to carry her success into the WNBA. But just last night, the two clashed for the first time as professionals, as the Indiana Fever hosted the Dallas Wings. What happened next went far beyond a simple basketball game. It was Clark rewriting history yet again in a way only she has managed. And now, twice. If you're ready to dive into the incredible record shattered that night, drop a CC record breaker in the comments. Let's go! Imagine this. Two teenage hoop stars lighting up the country, seemingly fated to go head-to-head for years. Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers first crossed paths in high school, both ranked among the nation's best, but with drastically different skill sets and demeanors. Clark delivered high-octane offense, exceptional court vision, and long-range shooting few could match. Meanwhile, Bueckers brought elegance to the game, a lethal mid-range shot and intuitive playmaking that challenged even Clark's court IQ.
Hey, Caitlin. You've known Paige since middle school, AAU. You guys were on the U19 World Cup team together. Is there anything that maybe stood out then about her, whether it be on or off the court, that maybe still reigns true today?
I mean, I feel like she's played in the same manner that she, has since she was, whether we were on the U16 team together, U19 team together, whether it was me watching her in AAU, like she's always just been smooth. She takes what the game gives her. Her midi has always been as nice as it's been this year. She just plays way older than she is. Like she's confident, she's smooth, she just does everything at a high level, can score from all three levels, and that's how she's always played, and that's obviously translated really well.
Their college journeys couldn't have been more different. Bueckers committed to UConn, joining a storied program under legendary coach Gino Auriemma with a history of championships. Clark chose Iowa, a school eager to break through on the national stage. That decision set the tone for unforgettable NCAA tournament matchups, moments that would define both athletes. Clark's Iowa squad dismantled UConn's dreams, including a legendary 41-point performance that sent Bueckers' team packing. In their 3 college meetings, Clark won twice, clearly coming out ahead in the rivalry. Analysts and fans began to take sides, turning the rivalry into something much bigger than just basketball. It became a narrative larger than the college game itself.
And a lot of people are saying, oh, everything is she was Caitlin before Caitlin, she's better than Caitlin and all this stuff. That kind of stopped in the media. Caitlin Clark put up better numbers in the WNBA than Paige did in college.
Coach Gino Auriemma wasn't shy about pointing out Clark's flaws. He criticized her decision-making on shot selection and openly questioned if her game would hold up in the WNBA, especially compared to Bueckers. In his view, Bueckers' polished fundamentals were more suited for the pros. Clark's dynamic offense and Bueckers' calm efficiency became symbols of two completely different styles of basketball greatness.
And Diana said it best, this kid's in for a rude awakening. And they all jumped over her, but they didn't read the whole thing that she said. But nobody's printing. Diana Taurasi was right. This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie. And if you're a WNBA player, if you're any kind of player, you're going to say, I'm going to make
Both players entered the WNBA draft, and fans eagerly awaited the moment they'd finally square off on the pro stage. Clark held a 2-1 edge in their college encounters, but now the questions surrounded her fit in the pros. Excitement built as the showdown approached. Even ABC broadcasted the game nationwide, knowing the draw was huge. With Clark facing intense scrutiny due to early struggles with the Indiana Fever, this game was crucial for her public perception.
Talking to our player development coach yesterday, and he was like, just sent me a few things of like even Steph going through a slump. I think he was like 27 for his last 70 or something like that. Like the best in the world go through it, and I think that's like where you can find your confidence. And I think the thing I always fall back on is like, I know how hard I've worked, so you know this isn't something that's going to last, and the best players in the world go through this. So I feel like I'm getting good shots, and I think that's why it's frustrating, because those are the shots that I make.
And here's where it all got more dramatic. Heading into the big game, Clark's Fever team was in a bad spot. They'd just been defeated by teams considered weaker, including the LA Sparks and the Golden State Valkyries, matchups most thought Indiana should have won easily. These weren't elite opponents, yet the Fever kept falling short, leaving fans puzzled and frustrated.
I feel like this stretch, you know, this is a big game for us. I think we've struggled in the fact that we're able to play one good game, and then we play a bad game, then we play a good game, then we play a bad game. So I think for us is like, we got to find a way to be able to stack really good games together. And then we go on the road, and, you know, we're on a back-to-back, which is just a challenge in itself, no matter who you're playing. We play Connecticut, then we play New York. So I think Steph's message was, you know, yes, All-Stars coming up, that break's coming up, but our focus is on these 3 games that we have left. So in that sense, I do think it's critical that our focus just remains on the game in front of us, and I feel like that's what everybody in the locker room is doing.
Beneath the surface, a deeper issue was developing, a clash in vision between Clark and head coach Stephanie White. Clark pushed for a fast, up-tempo offense focused on quick breaks. White, on the other hand, preferred a deliberate, half-court system rooted in structure. This mismatch in playing philosophy led to visible tension. Clark's skill set thrives in transition, but the Fever strategy rarely allowed for that. The friction came to a head during an on-court argument caught on camera during a game against the Atlanta Dream. Their heated exchange said everything about their disconnect.
There is definitely something going on within the locker room, the front office. Something is off, man. This is the 3rd situation in one game we have had involving Caitlin Clark and the coaching staff and pretty much another player. And it looked like Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White definitely had a situation where they was in a heated exchange right before halftime.
On top of that, lineup changes created even more instability. Clark was still trying to shake off rust from a recent injury. DeWanna Bonner returned from international duty, disrupting any rhythm the team had built. The Fever couldn't settle into consistent lineups or develop chemistry. It showed. Missed open shots mounted every game. Turnovers ended promising possessions. The transition game that made Clark elite, nowhere to be found. Clark admitted the inconsistency, saying, "We'll play well one game, then the next we fall flat. It's been up and down all season." Despite her shooting slump, she stood firm. "I'll never stop shooting," she said, comparing her cold streak to Steph Curry's occasional off nights. They finally broke the losing streak against Atlanta, but tensions lingered. The root of the problem, their opposing basketball visions, hadn't been solved, just temporarily quieted.
You know, it can be frustrating when your shot isn't going in the way that you want it to, but then like I look at the box and it's like, I'm really 4 shots away from having a really good game, a really good shooting game. So that's where you find your confidence, and I know those are shots that I can make, and I'm never going to stop shooting. So, I mean, until I break out of it, I'm just going to keep launching, and that's all I know, and I'm still confident in everything that I can do.
Now came the real test, the game against Dallas. Would Coach White finally give in and let Clark run the offense her way? Or would the internal conflict keep holding the Fever back?
Lee Aruru the other night had a season high 18 points. Here's Boston turning the corner. Dishing to Hull. Extra feed Clark. A deep 3. You bet. And he actually brought up stats from a shooting slump Steph Curry went through. She said that made her feel a lot better. That pass, Will, as well, right on the money to Mitchell.
Cunningham attacked the closeout.
Clark, the rejection of Quinterly. Clark, the flick ahead. Oh, beautifully done. Touchdown Fever.
In the early minutes, it wasn't obvious whether this gamble would pay off.